Why do you take notes with a pen? Don't you know we have technology for that? But is technology really better? I mean, aren't we just relying more and more on technology to the point where we're forgetting how to do everyday tasks, to the point where we're eventually going to become obsolete, and that'll leave room for AI-controlled robots to take over humanity? Here are some pros for handwritten notes. The classic look and feel of a notebook and a pen really trumps any device hands down. Also, you can get some pretty cool notebooks out there, not just from me personally, but there are so many out there that have like leather covers. Really adds to the whole D&D medieval feel. But also flipping through the notebook really adds. There are actually scientific links between memory and writing stuff down. This is because while writing notes, you tend to be more selective. You can't possibly write down every word that the DM says or what's being said around you. Writing in this shorthand means that you're summarizing the information. That means you're processing it so that you can write down the minimum required to remember that information later. Therefore, your recall of that information will be better. In general, people type much faster than they handwrite. So people who type are able to write more verbatim. If you're writing verbatim, then you're not actually digesting the words, you're just writing what you're hearing, and it doesn't actually go through your brain. You don't have other apps as distractions. We all have done it. We've looked at our phone for one thing and then got sidetracked with a notification and down a rabbit hole of notifications and forgotten why we were looking at our phone to begin with. It happens. I also find that once a device is at the table, it's suddenly okay for anybody to be on their cell phone. For my players in particular, this isn't necessarily a problem. My players really want to play D&D and very rarely check their devices for anything that isn't D&D related. But this could be an issue for other tables. Your notebook will never need charged. If you're a visual person like me, it's much easier to remember where something is on a page than it is on a screen, especially if that screen can scroll. Your options for a physical notebook are limitless. You can make your notebook or binder as complicated or simple as you would like. From a simple composition notebook with a pen to something like the player's notebook that I offer. You can add things to it like plastic sleeves to protect pages. You can add tabs to be able to switch between sections very easily. You can add pockets and card holders and so many different things to help keep you organized. And lastly, it's way easier to jot down maps or draw symbols. You'll have a much harder time with a laptop or a tablet or a mobile device unless you have a stylus and a really good phone. Some cons for a physical notebook. Obviously, it's slow and it takes time to write. If you have bad handwriting, well, it might get illegible. It's way harder to delete something in your notebook, and you can definitely lose things. There's not a backup version in the cloud or anything like that. Obviously, I'm partial to handwritten notes. I built a whole brand off of this, but there are obvious benefits to both. I'm going to be releasing another video about digital notes, and it'll be up to you to decide which method you like better, or if you want to use a hybrid method. If you're looking for a physical player's journal, I have a video showing how I use mine right here.